put a call into commitment, but no one's picking up on. Then alone came you, everything that I need, yeah. You brought the light and you brought the truth. Now I feel redeemed. I just want more of you tomorrow.
Yes, it's that time again. It is another Tuesday afternoon, maybe evening, maybe morning, depending upon where you're at all over this fine world. But for us, it's about 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's another All the Way Live with the Lovebirds. And I am one half of your dynamic duo. I go by the name of Dr. James Bird. And as always, to my side, the lovely, the talented, and the beautiful, she goes by
Dr. Angel Bird.
And together we are
The
Lovebirds,
Lovebirds.
and we are so excited to be back on the air with you again. We have an excited show for you today. We just love what we do. I just love talking about marriage, and I love talking about marriage and the family. I love trying to get God's people to see the importance of marriage and the role that it plays. I mean, just even if you think about the fact that it was the first institution that God established in this earth realm, and it's so important to God, and it should be so important to us as well. And so I'm excited to be on the air with you again. I'm excited to have my wife with me. We don't just talk about marriage on the air, but we talk about marriage, we talk about family, we talk about the things of God all day, every day. And for those of you who didn't know what that meant, it meant every day. And right now, it's about that time for our wonderful welcome from Wonder Woman herself. Go ahead and welcome the listening audience today.
I just want to welcome Kansas City first, and then I want to welcome the rest of the world that is listening all over the world. I pray that it's not as cold in your area as it is in mine. And I just want to thank you for taking out the time and the opportunity that you have set aside to be able to receive knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that will be able to help push your marriage to a flourishing place in your relationship with your spouse. We just pray that you shared not just with yourself, but you told someone else to tune in to be able to receive information, knowledge that will help push their marriage to the next level. So I welcome you today, and I thank you for listening.
All right. And if you are needing our services by way of counseling, individual or as a marriage, or even premarital counseling, if you are looking for the Lovebirds to come and speak to your organization, to your church, concerning marriage and the family, please reach out to us at 816-287-0567. Again, that's 816-287-0567. Or you can reach us at www.flourishingmarriages.com. Browse our website and go to the contact page and fill out the information, and that will go directly to us, and we will get back in contact with you. We try to make ourselves available for all your needs. We are here to serve you. We are here to serve your people. We are here to serve God's people. So reach out to us whenever you need us. And with that said, we have a good show planned for you today. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. I'm going to try to see, can I move it along so we can get all of this in today. But we're going to be talking about, one, some double standards in marriage. Ooh. I mean, sometimes there are double standards in marriage. Wow. So we're going to be talking about possible double standards in marriage. And then as well, we're going to be talking about, are we getting too comfortable in our marriage? Are we taking each other for granted? Is this marriage thing becoming old hat? So we're going to be talking about that. As a matter of fact, I might flip the script and might talk about that first. Today. But definitely we're gonna be talking about trying to get in both of those subjects today. So show me the company you keep, and I'll tell you your future. Dealing with the history, dealing with your surroundings, your sphere of influence. What do you think about that?
It's no difference than whatever you feed yourself all day. Whether it's food, whether it's television, or whatever you feed yourself, you will become. A person who overeats, we will be able to tell eventually by their size.
Oh, you didn't want to say that.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You're being nice. Okay.
You don't want to say that. A person who sit and only watch television and expect to become something great, that is deception. So it's no difference than if you are a person who say you love God and you hang out with a person who is a drug addict and maybe they rob banks or do things like that. There's only two ways this thing is gonna, ways it's gonna go.
Yeah, you're gonna either be Bonnie or you're gonna be Clyde.
And so you either gonna come on their side or they're gonna come over to your side to be able to remain. And so yes, I don't really think when it says watch the company that you keep, because it only can go two ways. You're either gonna become them or they're gonna become you. And so that's my point on it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that one bit. So that's very important with the company you keep. And so now with that said, that means that we don't shy away from being around people that we need to be able to influence and bring up higher. And we definitely want to also keep ourselves in company with people that will move us to a higher level as well. And we like to relate things to marriage as well. So if you're married, as a couple, you want to hang around other couples that are good company for your marriage. We always talk about names, but there's been times where we've hang around other couples that are influential in the public's eye. Maybe they're professional athletes or things of such, and they're very influential and popular in the public's eye. But one thing that we've always stood for is that if as a couple you're not trying to do marriage God's way, and you're not trying to have a good marriage and go in the right direction, not saying that you're perfect, but you're trying to do this thing right, we're not going to be hanging out with you.
Yeah, we're not compromising for no one.
No, for no one. We don't care how popular you are and what people think about you. We care about marriage, and we care about marriage, God's way. And so if you're willing to do that, then we will. Now, if you're a person that your marriage is, you're not even trying to do marriage right, the only kind of way you're going to probably hang it out with us is in a counseling session. And so we don't mind that either. Give us a call, 816-287-0567. Shameless plug, but we don't mind that as well. All right. Next, a friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. In this inspiration, it's using the word friends, but who better else to be that friend than your spouse? If you can marry your friend and then have this type of friendship in your marriage relationship, then you're on your way to a good marriage. Unfortunately, we see that a lot of people that are married, if they have a friend like this, it's not their spouse. And they can't be vulnerable to their spouse. And they try to hold their innermost feelings and thoughts, and they share them with another. Women are really great at sharing them. Men generally just hold them in. And
then women stop sharing when she realized that he's not interested or he showed no emotions or any feedback. And so they stop sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's let's talk about that just for a second. I paused here. I know we got a lot of show to get to. I'm going to try to get there, people. I said at the beginning, I'm going to try to get there, but let's just talk about that just for a second, because this happens all the time. Now, think about this. If it happens all the time, there's probably a reason. And we heard a good teaching the other last week or so that we're geared up different. And so it's an expectation of women, because they usually talk to women and share with women, and they're vulnerable with each other, and then they get married and they want that same they expect their husband to be the same way. And when their husband is not, they almost feel it as a sign of rejection. And they close up and no longer want to share with him, and they move into sharing it back with friends again. And so I believe the women need to know that, but the men need to also know that as well. So I'm not putting it in the women's lap or anything like that, but I'm saying it's an expectation that you have, and when expectations are unmet, it leads to disappointment. And so if the women can kind of change their expectation, or women could change their expectation on that just a little bit, and then men, they need to understand that that is what their wives want from you. And it's a good thing. And though it's not something that you're used to, a wise man will try to make that adjustment. And it's, let me tell you, it's uncomfortable for most men. A man can be sitting next to his wife, and there could be a thought going through his head about something that he needs to say, or something that he needs to talk to her about, or something that he needs to reveal. And it's like, if you can see me, my mouth is opening, but nothing won't come out. I tried to talk about it. I tried to get vulnerable, but the words just wouldn't come out my mouth. And it's, I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just not a natural thing for us.
So is that pride? Is that an ego? What is that called?
I don't know if it's pride. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if it's fear.
Okay.
Maybe it could be fear that maybe it's fear that we would think that if it would make us soft or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I just know that it's for most men it's tough to just open up and be vulnerable, especially out the gate. I mean, it's weird.
Let's just say that's 20-some years later. What seems to still be the problem?
20-something years later, then it's pattern, it's habit.
Okay.
She shut it off. He had, his pattern is habit. So that's where the lovebirds come in. We come in to change people, to get them to change things like that. I'm sorry if you can't see me on film, that little pause there. I drank some hot chocolate because it's 20 degrees in Kansas City, and now it's...
Don't drink no more.
So I do apologize. But, yeah, it's I'm not excusing it for the men, and I'm not putting it all on the women. I'm not putting it all on the men. I'm saying we need to understand. Yeah. That's what my point is. We need to understand one another the way one another is. And sometimes we got to come out of ourselves, and then sometimes women got to, be wise and pull it out of us. Sometimes we know this and count. Sometimes you got to ask your spouse something, and then just be quiet until they say something. And if they look like they're thinking, just be quiet until they say something, and just tell them I'm waiting. You got to get each other to talk. You got to talk to one another.
So I am sitting up here thinking that people learn what they want to learn, and
Okay.
people do what they want to do.
Okay.
No difference with sports, a new job, a better paying job. I'm offering you $1 million. It's amazing what you will learn and what you will do. And so what is it about marriage that we will work at and do all these other things in these areas for results and for money and for whatever we have to do, but when it comes over here to this thing that God deemed to be the most important thing on planet Earth, we come to a halt and it's like, I'm not saying that, I'm not doing that, I'm not reading that, I'm not going to counseling, I'm not this, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But they can make adjustments in a whole lot of other areas.
So put it on the scale. What in our society, what's more important to most people, money or marriage? Money. Most people, they're after money, even if they don't say they are. If you just look at their operation and what interests them, it's money. Most people are after money, and then they're after self-indulgence, relaxation, or whatever does that gratifies their pleasure. Yeah. So it's money, then pleasure. Marriage is just, maybe for the men, I need that biblically to be able to, do that thing. And women, they need somebody to hold them at night. I mean, that sounds funny, but it's almost literally seems like that's why people are getting married.
Today.
Yeah, today.
Today. I hope that's alright with you now. Would you stick around?